Hmm. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Yes, we are back again. पता नहीं मेरे को क्या ही हो जाता है, लेकिन एक बड़ा साला बेंच, वो साला वीसी नहीं आता, पता नहीं क्या ही सीन है उसका बेंच। और ना ही कोई वीडियो डालता है, क्या ही करता रहता है पता नहीं। मुझे एक बेंच है, ये वो भी है, डिस्कॉर्ड पे ऑनलाइन भी है। बड़े साले स्ट्रीम कर ले, बेंच सुन रहा है तो। ये स्ट्रीम सेटिंग सुन के क्यों है? चलो तो और यस। ठीक है, वो कर लेते हैं क्वेश्चन। सो उधर से किधर भागा होगा पता नहीं। चिल दे ना एक ट्रम्बो का। अच्छा बोला।
Hey, you over there? Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game? All right. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all the same, and there are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So, sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about...
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived? Then, did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping? There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is Lavaroon. People call them the Bombshell Bros. And
Bombshell
really found
Bros.
their gossip very mind-blowing. And it's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work every day. If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They
good to know.
Let me think. Sounds like you want to... Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Huh? Wait, are you serious?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though? To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never...
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you.
Thank you. मेरे को तो लगा था खेलना पड़ेगा अब तो बेंच। Okay.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a...
Hey, speak for yourself, mate.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Now, who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they'd want to hire someone like you? That's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how someone as useless as you is so...
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here? That's true.
Okay. हम लोग के तो पास ही जा रहा हूँ ले यहाँ पे कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन
There's a group of people over there.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that...
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine. You're lucky we...
You hear that, Quisto?
Your expressions tell me you're
Okay.
looking to hear some
ये
juicy
तो मैं हूँ।
info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens...
Really? Are we that famous?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry. We're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that? Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should...
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to the welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she cooks.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be...
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went, since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully.
चलो नाम बताओ
Bombshell.
आई आरू कैसा भाई
Going on here in the fortress.
hello welcome to the stream
Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated.
ये याद
The
है तुम्हारा नाम
overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs.
how are you
You've already met the one person here you should never cross.
I'm
The
in
Duke
mute, no.
Risley. He knows more than you think.
बढ़िया
And
पूरी
if he doesn't
प्रिपरेशन
care
कर
about
रखी है
something, then he often doesn't bother
मैं तो
you with
कभी
it.
कभी अरे भाई
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds
तुम
of
आते हो वही
special
अच्छा है
perks.
भाई
Even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every
Sorry.
day? Is it normal
Look
for anyone
at
to be
it.
going in and out of there so often?
if you ask me. He's just faking it to get out of work.
But did you know that Churia was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute
2
before he
साल
came
बाद
here?
पूरी सिम देखूंगा.
There's no denying that.
ओ भाई
I don't care if he was a
सही है
researcher that could
सही है.
turn
Thank you
dirt
thank
into
you.
Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Maripede, you're just another inmate like everybody else. Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by in the corridor with Lorvine. I
Daddy
also
where
heard they
है?
started arguing in the library and got into a fight, right?
You mean he
वो
hit a
कुछ तो
woman?
कर रहा होगा. तो ऑनलाइन भी है बट वीसी नहीं आ रहा तो
But that
कुछ
Lorvine's
काम ही
also
कर रहा
quite
होगा.
the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got
वो
sent to the
कल
infirmary.
आएगा
Come to
या
think of it,
क्योंकि
I always see her going to the is
ये
too. Huh.
ओके एक सेकंड. ठीक है. क्योंकि कल आ रही है ये. ठीक है. चलो भाई मैं जा रहा आज से तक पूरा 4 बजे आज का टास्क पूरा करना चाह रहा है. ओके ये आ रही है तो कल वो आ जाएगा.
Cover me, cover me, cover me!
It's not defeat that defines you.
मेरे को भी देखना है कि
It's how you bounce.
चुप रह भाई जो तो हल्ला लगा देगा मेरे.
As the pressure builds, I push back, pulling on the threads of fate.
कल एक
The
घंटे
chords
के
within
बाद.
these fleeting moments
ओके
find the beat my heart creates.
हाँ मैंने डाउनलोड कर लिया ये. अबे आ गया क्या? गूगल प्ले पे डाउनलोड थोड़ी ना कर सकते हो. आई डोंट थिंक सो. लेट मी सी. ओ भाई हाँ कर सकते हैं. अरे लेकिन वो नहीं आया. आई डोंट थिंक सो. एक मिनट. यस लॉन्च कर लोगा. यस यस यस. पता नहीं लेकिन हाँ चलो बाय 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 बाय.
Wait a second. You don't think?
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on dates?
गुड नाइट आपको. तो मैं
But
चला
it's really
पड़ने.
hard to
ओके
imagine.
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Juria to a pulp that one time. And we might be overthinking things.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
इसके मेरे को रास्ते ही याद नहीं रहा था।
हेलो। पो
हाँ
क्या कर रहा है?
That
स्ट्रीम कर
look
रहा है
in
ना?
your eyes.
यस
You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload
क्या
of
हो गया?
information.
Oh,
नहीं,
as
post देखी
expected
तूने?
of the legendary duo, you have my full
Post?
and undivided attention.
कहाँ है?
मेरे
I'd never
चैनल
guessed
पे।
that myself.
नहीं
वाह, साला सब्सक्राइब नहीं करता।
सब्सक्राइब है, बेल आइकॉन नहीं।
क्या चीज?
कुछ नहीं कुछ।
बेल आइकॉन नहीं दबाया ऐसा?
अरे नहीं रहे वो तेरा चैनल पोस्ट थोड़ी ना दिखती है मेरे को यहाँ पे, कैसे पोस्ट दिखेगी मेरे को?
अच्छा,
देखना पड़ेगा, तेरा चैनल ढूंढना पड़ेगा किधर है।
वाह, तेरे में सब्सक्राइब नहीं है?
सब्सक्राइब है लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा है ना।
वाह,
सब्सक्राइब बहुत ज्यादा लोग सब्सक्राइब करना, तो इधर ऐसा कैसे ढूंढूं? टैडी लिखने के कुछ नहीं आता। क्या कम्युनिटी में लिखा है? I said neutral. Hey, little fam, tomorrow is going to be a big day for us. I could not be more excited and a little read more. ये क्या है? टैडी
हेलो। हाँ, बोल बोल।
ये क्या है? Hey, little fam, tomorrow going to be big day for us, and I could not be more excited and a little read more.
आ, तू ना जानबूझ के ये चीज मत कर।
ऐसे ठीक।
हम्म
And a little rose I won't lie. Face reveal live stream. That's right, that's right, that's right. अच्छा, एक ही बार लिखा गया, मेरे को 3 बार दिखा। ठीक है। टुमारो ब्राइट एंड अर्ली। अच्छा, दूध पी के सो जा। इन सिंपल लैंग्वेज। नहीं अच्छा, तेरे को दूध पिलाना है क्या? ठीक है।
तो दूध पिलाएगा उसे?
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो मेरा क्या बोलते हैं, दही है। थोड़ा सा पता नहीं कैसा लगेगा।
शांति रह
ठीक
पहले।
है। अरे तेरा चैनल पे थोड़ी ना आ रही। Tomorrow bright and early, I will be doing a live stream where I will finally reveal my face to all of you wonderful people. People. It's a huge step for me as a shy person. Shy person. But wait, there is more. ये क्या लिखा है? उधरिंग वेव्स लॉन्च.
तू
क्या है?
कभी सिंपली बात नहीं कर सकता है ना?
नहीं.
क्यों?
उधरिंग वेव्स लॉन्च. हाँ ठीक है. Not only will you get to see my face for the first time, but we will also be diving into a brand new game, Wuthering Waves, which is launching tomorrow. ओए मैं बहुत चूते हूँ पता है टेडी.
क्यों, क्या हुआ?
भाई देख, मेरे पास कल भी टाइम था ठीक है. ये आर्कन क्वेस्ट मेरे को पता है कि अभी 5 या 6 घंटे वो है
हम्म
ठीक है. और ये आर्कन क्वेस्ट आज मेरे को या तो फिर उसे लाइक एंडिंग तक ले जाना पड़ेगा ठीक है.
हम्म
लाइक लास्ट में यही पूछना बचा रहे कि भाई अब कहाँ जाना है, अब आपको नाट ले वही.
हम्म
या तो फिर मेरे को हलवे लग जाएंगे कल वो रिंग तो खेलूंगा मैं.
हम्म कल छुट्टी पे है ना?
नहीं.
क्यों?
क्या क्यों? मैं तेरे को बोला तो है 25 तारीख को कुछ नहीं हो सकता मेरा.
अ,
यस.
एक छुट्टी ले लेना, सुबह 7 बजे, साढ़े
नहीं
सात
होता.
बजे हो रहे हैं.
नहीं होता.
हम्म,
नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि मेरे जो सर को आती है जो चीज़ मेरे को करनी आती है
हम्म,
वो सिर्फ हम दोनों ही कर सकते हैं और वो गया हुआ है अहमदाबाद. सो
हम्म,
मतलब ट्रेनिंग के लिए गया हुआ है.
हम्म।
तो फिर मेरे को जख मार के ये हफ्ता निकालना ही पड़ेगा.
ओ भाई,
विच इज लॉन्चिंग टुमारो. ठीक है. लॉन्चिंग. ठीक है. आई एम सुपर स्टॉक टू ट्राई इट. अच्छा खाना बना था थोड़ा सा. आई एम सुपर स्टॉक्ड टू ट्राई इट आउट विथ ऑल ऑफ यू. Let us explore together and see what this game has to offer. Offer. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a mix of excitement and nervous about tomorrow. But having all of you there with me makes it a whole lot easier. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait. अच्छा इतने बार नहीं लिखा गया सॉरी. I can't wait to share this special moment with each and every of you. See you there. Rocket. Launch. Much love. ये क्या है? लवड़ा. नहीं सॉरी. मच लव दिल. अच्छा ठीक. टेडी. सोलेस. ये सोलेस ये क्या है?
आ, आ, आ,
बट चेहरा तो दिख गया है इसमें.
क्या? उतना भले दिखाओ, मेरे को पता है.
मैं दिखा दूं क्या? ये रहा.
दिखा दे साले.
नहीं.
भाई मैं मोटिवेट होने आया था तुझसे, लेकिन मेरे को तूने पढ़ के ही मेरे को डिमोटिवेट कर दिया.
या
He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our
तूने सारी
final
एनर्जी
report to
गायब कर दी
Father.
मेरी.
We need
अरे
to
कोई
find
दिक्कत
out
नहीं.
Master Child's exact whereabouts.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है बोलता साला.
साला ये
Father
बड़वा
told me
साला
that
रात को
even though
नहीं
Master
आएगा
Child
दोपहर को
said he's
स्ट्रीम
just
करेगा
coming to
भेंचोद.
Fontaine for a vacation,
मेरे
नहीं,
को
सुबह
डर.
7
he
बजे
actually
कल.
had some personal reasons.
अरे बट
He's a
रात को
gent I
थोड़ी ना
might
आएगा
be
तू.
linked to his
स्ट्रीम
disappearance.
करने तो नहीं लेकिन ना बैठने तो आ जा भोसड़ी की.
हाँ, बैठने आ सकता हूँ.
His escape route is pretty flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase it.
Well, when you put it that way,
ये
it's
सुबह
obvious that
7
only
बजे
Fremine would
एग्जैक्टली
be up to the
चालू हो
task.
जाएगी क्या?
7:30.
Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later.
नहीं टाइम नहीं।
It's the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only fair for us to fulfill our end of the bargain. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Risley's watchful eyes.
Collecting
अब तेरे से एक
information
चीज
has always
करवानी
been our
थी
strong
लेकिन
point.
तू साला जब अवेलेबल होता है तब स्ट्रीम करता है,
Now,
जब
let
स्ट्रीम
me
नहीं करता
think.
तब अवेलेबल नहीं
To
होता
find
तो
out more information,
अब क्या है?
Fremine
तेरे
will
को
have to
पूछ के
retrace
भाई
Master
तेरे को
Child's
बोला है
original
कि
route.
भाई कॉल कर मेरे को, फिर बाद में कॉल करता हूँ मैं तभी
And if
बोलता है
he's to
कि
do
भाई
that, he'll have to
ऐसे ही
set
कॉल
out on
किया
the
था।
next pipe
ठीक
cleaning
है
day
भाई।
at the earliest.
भाई
That's
तेरे को
6
जब
days
कॉल
from
करते हैं
now.
ना
Hmm.
तब तू
And after
जॉब पे
that,
होता है बिजी,
he'll probably take another.
जब तेरे को
Can
कॉल
you
नहीं करते
estimate
तब
how
स्ट्रीम
long
कर रहा
it'll
होता
take
है।
for him to get back?
अरे तेरे को बोला है मैंने कि भाई मतलब 4:30-5 बजे के बाद कभी भी कर कॉल।
लेकिन तू अवेलेबल तो नहीं होता, बस वहीं पे तो होता है लेकिन
हाँ बीच में तो रह सकता हूँ ना। भाई मेरे को तो थंबनेल भी बनाना है बे आज।
We've been working together for a long
इस चीज
time.
का।
We know
उधर
each
इंगा
other's
बे।
capabilities like the backs of our hands. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too. Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden.
मैं बोला तू कल
Fremine's
साथ
no
करेगा तो
master of
मैं
disguise.
थोड़ा सा
Lynette's still working
मैं
on
स्ट्रीम
getting
वगैरह
intel from
प्रमोट
the
कर
other
देगा,
areas,
जो भी
and
लोग
I'll
देखेंगे
need to
उनमें
spend
से
some
तो
time
ठीक
helping
है।
Fremine
सुबह
prepare
7
these
बजे
documents.
मेरी कोई
So,
स्ट्रीम देगा तेरे को
they
लग रहा
are
है?
the only ones we
वो तो
can
मेरे
count
को ही
on.
देखेगा, तेरे को लग रहा है?
हाँ
क्यों
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
क्यों ऐसा लग रहा है?
ये
Well, I
बच्चे
won't call it
सुबह
easy per
फ्री
se,
रहते हैं।
but I think you'll be able
अच्छा
to
तो
pull
तू
it
क्या
off.
कहना चाहता है? तेरे को बच्चे नहीं देखते?
हाँ क्योंकि भाई मेरी स्ट्रीम में गाली होती है, ऐसा करे भोसड़ी है, ऐसा करे तेरे में नहीं
दिख रहा
होती।
है, दिख रहा है तेरी
Listen
चैट में
carefully.
नहीं होते
You'll need to
बच्चे।
find an excuse to get into the infirmary and
वो
investigate
बोल
the room
वो
and
क्या
environs.
बोलते हैं, थोड़ा सा पीछे जाके देख। तेरे को वो चैट कर रहा था तभी देख।
You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the
फिर
secret
वो
we're
चला
hoping
गया
to
ना,
uncover.
फिर मेरे को
We've already met the
फिर मेरे
head
को
nurse,
लगा
so she'll be less suspicious of
कि
you.
बेंचो ये टेडी
देख
ने
देख
बोला
मेरे
था कि
को अंदर
गाली
अंदर भी डाउनलोड हो रही है, पता है? अंदर भी है मतलब 18
मतलब
जीबी 80 जीबी।
Investigate the
80
internal structure of the
हाँ
infirmary and any active dealings within,
रात
and
को
pass those on to me
रात
alongside
को रखना
anything
पड़ेगा
else you're
लग
able
रहा
to discover.
अब तुझे एक बात
But
बताऊं,
also,
है।
there's no need to take risks. Don't
18.5
forget,
जीबी
safety
की
always
है,
comes
लेकिन मेरे
first.
साथ एक ग्लिच हुआ था। मैं शुरू में देख के मैं खुद शॉक हो गया। मैं बोला गेंशिन
No,
को
when it
पहुंचने
comes to
में 3
intelligence
साल
gathering,
लगे
I'd never consider
जितनी
you
साइज
to be
पे,
an
ये
amateur.
स्टार्टिंग में ही
Didn't
इतनी
you say
साइज
it
पे लॉन्च हो
yourself?
रही है। मैं
It's
बोला
always, I'll believe anything as
फिर
long as it
मैं
comes
जब
from you.
वो किया ना,
So, please
डाउनलोड
prove
वगैरह
your
पे लगाया
prowess
ना,
to me once
फिर
you...
वो
All
अचानक
right,
80 से
we will head
18
out
हो
as
गया।
soon as we finish our prep.
Let's go our
Right.
separate ways for now then. Don't forget,
भाई होएवर से कोरो गेम्स का अच्छा सपोर्ट मतलब मिलेगा प्लेयर्स को। वैसे भी वो अच्छी है कंपनी, मतलब ये फीडबैक वगैरह के मामले में, पता है? अभी एक इशू, अभी गेम लॉन्च भी नहीं हुआ है, राइट? और उन लोगों ने कम्युनिटी पोस्ट में पहले ही उनका एक इशू है ना वो बता दिया, और लोगों को उसका सॉल्यूशन भी
There
बताया
seem to
कि
be
जो
several
एंड्रॉइड प्लेयर्स
people
है ना
inside.
वो जब गेम खोलेंगे तो उनको मे बी उनको क्रैश वगैरह फेस करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? कुछ लोगों को जिनके साथ होगा उनके साथ बस, ठीक है? तो वो लोगों को
It's a bit
रीइंस्टॉल
hard to
करने को बोला है,
understand them from here. So,
अगर वैसा हो तो। वो भी यूट्यूब की कम्युनिटी पोस्ट में सोच रहा है। हाँ वैसे एक चीज के बारे में बताना था, ठीक है? एक चीज के बारे में डिस्कस करना था, और वो है कि तू कौन सा सर्वर सिलेक्ट करने वाला है? तूने वो मेरी पोस्ट थी उससे नीचे मैंने 11 घंटे 12 घंटे पहले एक और पोस्ट की थी जो कि तूने नहीं देखी। तू डिस्क स्पेस रिक्वायरमेंट। अरे भाई तेरे में एमबी क्यों दिखा रहा है? मेरे में 80 जीबी दिखा रहा था।
ओके,
मैं क्या
अब यहाँ
मैं
पे
क्या
क्या
बोल रहा हूँ
करना है?
देखो, डाउनलोड ही करना है डायरेक्ट।
पे वो नहीं हो सकता क्या इसमें कि उसमें होता है वैसे स्टीम में?
प्रोग्राम फाइल में मैं गया अलग से, और अलग से मैंने प्रोग्राम फाइल में जाके डाली है।
डी डी तो ठीक है, डी में ही चाहिए मेरे को।
अरे
890
प्रोग्राम फाइल का
जीबी।
बोल रहा है ना।
भाई कुछ ज्यादा ही हो गया, फिर क्या ही है वेंचर, मेरा 2 जीबी का क्या ही फर्क है, देखना पड़ेगा।
2 जीबी।
मतलब 202 टीबी।
वाह, मैनेज तो मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ स्टोरेज, और तू क्या रो रहा है? मेरे पास 400 जीबी बचा है, टोटल मिला के 500।
साला ये यूट्यूब खा रहा है मेरा पेंच। इसमें कितना है? 122 जीबी तो ये ले रहा है। फिर मेरे पास एक ये डेडपुल की स्ट्रीम्स पड़ी है 2K, 10 जीबी ले रहा है। मेरे भाई का शादी के फोटोज, वेलो स्ट्रीम्स, वेलो
वाह,
स्ट्रीम्स कब डाउनलोड किया मैंने? 32
मोनेटाइज बनाने
जीबी।
के लिए मोनेटाइज।
हाँ, वैलोरेंट गेमिंग पैक। भाई ये क्या क्या कर रखा है मैंने?
गेमिंग पैक। दिख नहीं रहा तेरा
17।
गेमिंग पैक?
अरे वो है ये 3D मॉडल्स और वो सब।
अबे, बनाया तो दिखा नहीं आज तक कभी कुछ।
चुप रहे। हाँ।
सिर्फ डाउनलोड करके रख लिया थर्ड पार्टी से, वो भी, और वो भी यूज नहीं किया।
भाई ये डाउनलोड पे रखूंगा मैं टेडी।
हम्म।
भाई यार ये डाउनलोड स्पीड वो नहीं कर सकते क्या यार रशीद?
क्या नहीं कर सकते?
ये स्टीम वाले पे जाके वो कर सकते थे ना कि
हाँ कर
भाई
सकता है ना,
500
देख ऑप्शन
500
आता है।
एमबीपीएस ही। क्या? कहाँ पे?
ओ सेटिंग में जा, सेटिंग में अगर इसने दिया हो तो
नहीं
फिर
है, नहीं
वेंचर के
है,
लॉन्चर
नहीं
में है।
है,
इन लोगों
नहीं
ने
है
दिया था।
इसमें।
अब वो अभी ये लोग भी कर देंगे अपग्रेड आगे, आई गेस। लेकिन
18 जीबी
डोंट
तो
वरी।
आधे पौने घंटे में हो जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत
लेकिन इससे तेरे स्ट्रीम वगैरह में फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, डोंट वरी।
नहीं। वो मेरे को चाहिए पिंग।
Whoa, are you
अरे
okay?
अभी तो स्टोरी कर रहा है,
What's
काई
wrong,
का
little
पिंग है।
bud? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
ठीक है, कर लेते हैं क्या? देखता हूँ। प्लीज मेरे टास्क में संभाल लेना था, ठीक? कोई दिक्कत। एटी
ये तो
सेवन
यार,
परसेंट जीबी ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत
The
ऐसा
traveler
पीस
started
बना के भी
complaining
अगर
last
रोना पड़े
Saturday,
ना तो
and
क्या
then
ही
nausea,
मतलब।
and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do.
नहीं। मैं पंगे कम है मेरे में।
तूने कौन सा
Freezing
ग्राफिक
limbs,
कार्ड लिया?
twitching fingers, and pale
3060।
complexion.
3060 में
Could
वाला
it be
लेना, हाँ।
poison?
और अरे लेकिन तेरा टर्बो वाला नहीं है ना?
टर्बो मतलब?
मतलब ओवरक्लॉक एडिशन नहीं है ना तेरे वाला? मैंने
है ना,
देखा था।
है।
नहीं देखा था मैंने।
है नहीं है, मैं किसी का ठीक
रुक
है।
जा।
हो ना हो मैं तो क्या।
गीगाबाइट का है, गीगाबाइट कहाँ देता है उसी एडिशन?
नहीं मेरा
ये फर्क कौन सा पड़ता है? वैसे भी ओवरक्लॉक कौन सी कर पाती है आज की गेम्स? तू फैन को किस पे रखता है, फैन कंट्रोल को? वाह। तू फैन कंट्रोल को किस पे रखता है, ऑटो पे?
क्या?
तू फैन की स्पीड की किस पे रखता है, ऑटो? क्यों?
ऑटो फैन स्टॉप ऑफ है मेरा। वो चालू ही रहता है।
हम्म,
डिग्री पे सेट कर रखा है ना, 6 डिग्री पे 67% चालू होएगा। अभी 93 डिग्री नहीं 72 डिग्री सेल्सियस चल रहा है ये नहीं फैन ये नहीं। अच्छा ये जीपीयू वाला, हाँ ऑटो पे
हाँ
ऑटो पे ऑटो पे।
मैं कैबिनेट के ही बात कर रहा था वैसे, लेकिन ठीक है।
कैबिनेट के फैन तो वैसे ही होते हैं।
ऑटो पे तू बोल रहा है मैनुअल पे किया है।
नहीं वो मेरा वो क्या बोलते हैं कूलिंग वाला है।
मैं जो मेरा पीसी का टेम्परेचर 40 और क्रॉस करके 65 तक जाता है। हम्म,
मेरा 72 है।
70 तो मेरा भी गया होगा यार, कभी
Let
तो
me
जाता
take a
ही है।
look.
अबे
Guys,
क्योंकि
lie down over
एसी
here.
नहीं है मेरे
तो मैं कौन सा हमेशा एसी चालू करके बैठता हूँ, ये अजीब
Don't
बातें
worry,
करता है
I'll
भाई तू
get
भी।
you to the bed safely.
में देख
Here,
लो भाई ये
hold on
बहुत
to my
अमीर है,
shoulder and
ये
walk
ऐसे ही
slowly.
चालू रहे।
ऐसा क्या? हम्म खाना भी
अगले
नहीं खाने
छः
को।
7-8 महीने में
Very
मैं भी अमीर हो
clever.
जाऊंगा, पहन मैं भी चल।
Don't apologize. You're sick after all.
ओके,
Now, please relax.
और ये
I'm
सब
just
चेंज
going to
होने
do a
वाला है, ये सब
preliminary checkup on you.
रूम ही चेंज है।
क्या फायदा, तू तो वही का वही रहेगा।
नहीं मैं भी चेंज हो जाऊंगा, ये ऐसे इधर जैसे बाल कर लूंगा।
I seen it. My checkup
ड्यूटी
has
क्यों थे?
confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger.
नहीं तो ये पाइवन जैसे कर।
That's a Oh, that's good. But
मेरे को ना एक बंदे का हेयर स्टाइल बहुत पसंद है, देखा था।
मैं पहले वीडियो में करने वाला था, फिर मेरे पास टाइम नहीं बचा स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग वगैरह के लिए, तो मैं वही कर रहा था फिर।
मेरे को ना इसके वाल ऐसा लगता है ना, भैंस ऐसे होने चाहिए बाल, ऐसे।
बाल तो इसके मस्त है सही में।
वही तो, इसमें दिख गया थोड़े से बाल। ये देख, रॉक में ये सब आ रहा है,
वही
ये की
बोची आ रही है।
ये ना बोची बोची मारे मले नहीं।
I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please relax and take.
ओ
Don't sense serious damage to your organs
Oh.
either. Does it hurt when I press here?
सोच कल
And here?
कल लोग सर्वर जैसे ही ओपन हो
Based on
वैसे
my initial checkup,
लोग
there
मतलब
shouldn't
विदरिंग
be a
वेव खेले
problem
और
here.
सबके डिवाइसेस में नॉट
Strange.
रिस्पॉन्डिंग आ जाए।
नहीं सुन ना,
What about
वो
here? Does this hurt? Oh,
वो वाला होना चाहिए,
I
क्या
understand.
बोलते हैं,
So that's what it is.
उसे नहीं आता फोर्टनाइट में,
हम्म,
निकाल दिया था पोस्टी वालों ने, दूसरे को स्ट्रीम में जाके देख रहा है क्या हो रहा है। देख लूं मैं थोड़ा।
क्या लगता है कल
Just
क्या
had
होगा
something
मतलब?
that disagreed with
वैसे
you.
तो
That's all.
अ,
Nothing too
ऐसे
serious.
कुछ नहीं होगा क्योंकि
Outside of
वो
a
वाली
pretty
भी
bad
अपन ने
stomachache when
लॉन्च
it
देखा ही
decides
है
to
ना।
act up.
किसका?
कौन सी ये गेंशिन के बाद वो नहीं आई थी,
So that's what it is.
कौन सी?
Thank goodness it's not anything
पता
more
नहीं,
serious.
एक फूल लेना होता था, उसमें अपन को एक विश मिल जाती थी, ऐसा था कुछ।
And there have
टावर
been
ऑफ
other
फैंटेसी।
inmates complaining
हाँ
about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Woolsey, of this
उसमें
problem
तो
as
साली
soon as
कैरेक्टर
possible.
कस्टमाइजेशन क्या चीज थी वो तो
Congratulations!
अलग ही दुनिया है
The health risk
कैरेक्टर
is incredibly
कस्टमाइजेशन
low,
में।
so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while
अपने
I go
कम
get
है।
some medicine for you? Miss
यार
Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after
Oh.
this new patient while very well.
यार कुछ चीजों का काम है भाई,
She'll have
क्या
to wait,
करूं?
just like that.
मेरे को एक तो मेरा एनवीडिया ब्रॉडकास्ट चल नहीं रहा, तो मेरे को डिफॉल्ट क्वालिटी पे चलाना पड़ेगा वेबकैम, और
Hello. So how are you
उसमें
feeling now?
थोड़ा बहुत वो है,
क्या करना पड़ेगा तेरे को?
अरे एनवीडिया ब्रॉडकास्ट जैसे ही अगर मैं ओबीएस में या डिस्कॉर्ड में सिलेक्ट करता हूँ ना,
His
तो
stomach aches
तेरे को
really
इशू नहीं
bad.
आता, लेकिन
He
मेरे
was
को ये
sniffling
इशू आता
about
है।
the
मेरा जो
whole way here,
माउस का
so
कर्सर
Paimon's
है ना,
really
वो
worried.
कर्सर चिपकने लगता है बहुत।
If Miss Sejuin says it's not a
कर्सर
serious problem,
चिपकता
then
है।
there's no need to worry.
कर्सर
She's the best
अब
medic we've got down
एनवीडिया
here.
के कुछ ना कुछ लोचे ही।
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean that's
Hmm?
true? That's
एनवीडिया
really
के थोड़े बहुत तो
misrepresenting the
लोचे है ही
situation.
सब में।
Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone
तो
imprisoned here is useless, you know?
फिक्स कैसे करूँ, मतलब मैं वो पूछ
Though
नहीं
they may have
होगा।
committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know
होएगा
a
ही
thing or
नहीं।
two about medicine, and they help Miss Sejuin
जी
take
जी
care of the sick and injured.
तेरे को एनवीडिया ब्रॉडकास्ट चलाना
Yeah,
चाहिए।
yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture
तू
me
क्यों
about it
चलाता
in
है?
front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did
देख
all your energy come from?
मैं देखो समझाता हूँ, ठीक है। ये मेरा स्क्रीन है, ठीक है,
हम्म
और यहाँ पे डेस्कटॉप ऑडियो माइक,
हम्म
ठीक है। और मैं नहीं चलाता, मैं वीडियो के लिए तो घंटा, ये मेरा ये वही है एनवीडिया का, पहले मैं चलाता था।
हम्म
तो वो भी
यार एक
क्यों
तो
चलाया
तू
पता नहीं।
कंटेंट क्रिएटिंग वगैरह के लिए फुल टाइम अवेलेबल भी तो नहीं है यार। तू एक लौता बंदा है मेरे पास जिससे मैं कंटेंट वगैरह हम दोनों मिलके निकाल भी सकते हैं, लेकिन भाई तू वो
नहीं
नहीं है,
अभी
अब
नहीं,
थोड़ा
अभी
बिजी
नहीं,
है।
अभी नहीं, मेरा सही नहीं है। और
क्या?
ये देख एनवीडिया का जो मैं माइक है ना,
हम्म
वही यूज करता हूँ,
हम्म
क्योंकि उसमें नॉइज रिमूवल, और मेरे
हम्म
पास तेरे जैसा अमीरियत तो है नहीं, तो मेरे पास गरीब माइक है, ये है इसका।
आ,
तो मैं फिल्टर इसमें कुछ लगाता नहीं हूँ, फिर भी अच्छी खासी वॉइस ये मतलब नॉइज रिड्यूस कर देता है एनवीडिया ब्रॉडकास्ट, तो दैट्स व्हाई करता हूँ, बाकी और कोई रीज़न नहीं है।
हम्म
That's correct.
Are you two also sick?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Sejuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature. You could say she fancies herself as Miss Sejuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurrier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now. Please, keep it civil at least.
मैं पहले वीडियो में करने वाला था, पता है,
क्या ये
फेस वगैरह डायरेक्ट। हाँ, लेकिन फिर सोचा कि यार टाइम पास ही में आ गया है, और विदरिंग वेव तो जिस दिन लॉन्च होने वाले उसी दिन खेलना है मेरे को। और मेरे को इस गेम के साथ ऐसा नहीं करना कि भाई मैं कुछ दिनों खेलूं, उसमें कुछ सीख गया हूँ,
Hey, there's no need to
सब कुछ
fight.
कर लिया है,
Hola will
उसके
be
बाद मैं
released
स्ट्रीम
someday,
करके
so
लोगों
there's
को
no
बताऊं
need to
देखो
argue over silly
ये
things like
ऐसा।
this.
मेरे को भी नया
But
एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए ना।
Release. It's way too
ऑल्दो
early for us
क्लोज
to
बीटा
even
भी नहीं
think
खेला
about
मैंने, तो
that. And who the
आई
heck
गेस
knows if we'd
मतलब
even be.
तूने भी नहीं खेला, तो आई गेस क्लोज बीटा ना खेलना एक तरीके से वर्थ इट भी है, क्योंकि फाइनल प्रोडक्ट चलाने मिलता है ना, समझ रहे हैं
please
हमको।
allow me to end this boring
फाइनल
and
प्रोडक्ट
useless
डायरेक्टली
conversation.
जिसमें कोई कमी
Oh,
वगैरह
and Mr.
मोस्टली
Jurrier?
नहीं
And
निकलती,
same
क्योंकि
to
बहुत
you, Miss
टेस्ट किया वगैरह
Lorvine.
होता है।
Anyway, that was more than enough
और
rest for
दूसरी
me,
बात,
so
उसकी
I'm going to get
प्रोग्रेस
out
अगर
of
तुम
this
उसमें आधा महीना भी दो, तो उसकी
He
प्रोग्रेस
just
प्रोग्रेस
slowly
रहेगी
walked
तुम्हारी
off
सेव,
like that?
ना कि सीबीटी
It's
की
just what he's
तरह,
like.
क्लोज बीटा की तरह कि तुम खेल रहे हो, तुम्हारे पास भाई तुमने 50 विश भी कलेक्ट कर ली, कोई फायदा नहीं, क्योंकि
I'm
रीसेट
sorry
हो
you had to
जाएगा
see all of that.
अकाउंट।
I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well,
आई
his
गेस
name is
ठीक है।
Jurrier, but I hope...
You really...
तू कल विदरिंग करने
I
वाला है
mean,
ना?
can you blame me? Look, who would like someone who's
यस
as arrogant and obsessed with weird
कब आएगा
research
लेकिन तो
topics
तू?
as he is?
रात को 8 बजे।
But
स्ट्रीम कब
I'll
करेगा?
accompany you two for a while.
9 बजे।
Miss Sejuin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as... No, it's nothing.
I'm back. Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijween.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest?
तुझे पता
I
मेरे को
trust
आज
that nobody got up to walk
सोचा
around.
मैंने कि नया इंट्रो आउट्रो
Good.
भी बनाऊं मैं,
Here,
लेकिन
this should be 2 days worth of
टाइम
medicine for
भाई
you.
टाइम।
Take one. Miss Levine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember.
तू विजिटिंग वेव के लिए एक्साइटेड है?
I understand. These are yours.
क्या?
Please, make
तू
sure to
विजिटिंग
go to
वेव्स
bed
के लिए
early
एक्साइटेड
after
है?
taking them tonight.
हाँ,
You'll benefit from a good
तो
night's sleep.
खेलना है।
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you
भाई
feel
तेरे
better
साथ
soon
बैठ के
too.
मेरे
खाली
को
खाली
ना
सा फील क्यों होता है?
मेरे को ना टेडी
हम्म
गेम कैसी है, या तो फिर गेम के स्टेट्स क्या है, गेम में क्या क्या कर सकता है, वो सब जानने में ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, ठीक है। लेकिन मेरे को इंटरेस्ट ये है स्टोरी कैसी है।
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right?
स्टोरी जाननी है
Just want
मेरे को
to
मेन
check
वही
a
है।
few details, if that's
ये
all right with
गेंशिन
you.
भी इसीलिए खेल रहा हूँ कि
Plus, you made
वेंचो
quite the commotion
मेरे
just
को
now, so why don't we
ये
let the
फाउंटेन की
Traveler
स्टोरी
rest?
जान।
Paimon can answer the questions. So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea.
यार लेकिन
Alright then. Is there anything we should know
आखिरकार
besides
गाचा
the
भी तो
take?
पार्टी
No,
होता है,
his
राइट?
base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine.
हेलो क्या?
Please make sure to stick to bland or
मैं
less
बोल रहा हूँ
stimulating foods. And
आखिरकार
don't stay up too late at night.
एक ओपन वर्ल्ड
Hey,
आरपीजी गेम
Paimon will hold
में
the Traveler
गाचा
tab
गेम्स
for sure.
में गाचा भी तो पार्टी होता है उसका मेन,
हाँ
राइट? उसके
Oh, you're
कैरेक्टर्स
going to take a nap already?
वेपन
अबे नहीं, मेरे लिए नहीं होता। मेरे लिए अगर ये गाचा मेन पार्ट होता तो फिर मैं क्या बोलते हैं, सिर्फ अभी विश गैदर करने में लगा हुआ था।
He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's
वो
actually
नहीं कह रहा
super
मैं,
strong.
तू नहीं समझा। मैं बोल रहा हूँ अगर मान ले स्टोरी खत्म हो गई तो तू गेम नहीं छोड़ेगा ना, मतलब तू प्रोग्रेस करने के लिए कैरेक्टर्स वगैरह बिल्ड करना वो सब भी तो पार्टी है, राइट? गेम
You're
का
awake. How do
ये
you
हम
feel?
थोड़ा बहुत
You
अंदर
slept
स्टे
for a
करते
really
हो,
long time, but well, now you can go
जैसे
back
कि
without a worry in the
तू
world.
भले तेरे को स्टोरी
Remember
वगैरह
me?
पसंद है लेकिन
Thank
तेरे
you,
को
Miss Sijween.
कैरेक्टर्स डिजाइन काफी अच्छे होते हैं, और खास करके विदरिंग वेव में जब जिगल फिजिक्स ही आ गई है तो, राइट? तो लोग और अट्रैक्ट होंगे उस चीज से। तो मेरा मानना है कि मतलब जैसे कि देख, एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे तू भले स्टोरी वगैरह कर रहा हो गेम की, लेकिन लिन पसंद आई ना तुझे तो वो निकालेगा ना तू, वो तो
हाँ
पक्की बात है। बस वही बात है ना भाई।
अबे जो पसंद है वो तो निकालूंगा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं कि भाई नहीं निकली तो लौड़ा भैंचो मैं वो पूरी रात बैठूंगा इसे तो निकाल के ही रहूंगा, ये ऐसा नहीं होता मेरे को। नहीं निकली नहीं घटना मारा भाई।
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death. No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, don't take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now. Paimon talked with Sijween the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure? Whoa, you really are super thorough. All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon didn't even pick up on. We've got to get the info to Linny.
कुछ वीक्स पहले मैंने तेरे को यूट्यूब रिगार्डिंग सब बातें की थी, वो याद है ना तेरे को अच्छे से?
ये भोसड़ी का साला बेंचोद 22 दिन पहले आके बोलता कि भाई सिंसियर करना है, क्या बोलते हैं, सिंसियर रहना है, लाइक क्या बोलते हैं, कौन से कांस्टेंट स्ट्रीम करनी है या तो फिर कांस्टेंट वीडियो डालना है। बेंच में मेरे को इतना गुस्सा आया ना, फिर बाद में ये भोसड़ी का 20 दिन तक चुपचाप किधर भी नहीं है इसको, भाई दिखता ही नहीं है वीसी में या तो किधर।
अरे भाई बाहर था मैं,
भाई बोल के जाना यार, तो मैं कुछ कर लेता भाई इतने।
साला कितना चूतिया इंसान है भाई। मैंने ऐसे सवाल नहीं उठाया भाई कभी इस पे।
भाई बोल के तो यार।
Did you two run into any trouble over the past
बोला
few
था
days?
ना।
हाँ आने के बाद बोला था, हाँ बराबर बोला था तूने।
बोला तो था।
बोला था, सही है।
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary.
मैं इसको बोला कि मैं 20 दिन तक स्ट्रीम नहीं कर पाऊंगा, कि मेरे को पढ़ना है। ये बोलता कि नहीं भाई 1-2 घंटे की तो कर ले। फिर बाद में ये लौड़ा गायब हो गया 20 दिन तक, मैं यहाँ पे गांड मारा।
नहीं भाई यार,
You already went above and beyond when you scoped
ठीक
out
है
the
कोई दिक्कत
infirmary.
नहीं है, लेकिन कल
So
तो
put it bluntly,
कल मतलब
even if
शाम
we
को
were
आ
to view
जाइयो,
that as something you did in
विदाउट
exchange for
कुछ
Frene's help. You've
क्या
already
बोलते,
done more than
बहुत
enough.
ज्यादा ग्राइंड किया। वैसे तो कर ही लेगा पता है,
वाह एक दिन में क्या ही ग्राइंड कर लूंगा है अभी।
मेरे को पता लग रहा है कि भाई ये तू 1 या 2 क्या बोलते हैं वो रीजन खत्म कर देगा 100 करके।
उसमें से कहाँ से रीजन आ गए।
और आएगा उसमें भी आएंगे तो सही।
एक चीज बहुत अच्छी की भाई देख, मैं अभी तो खेला है नहीं, मैंने पनिशिंग ग्रे रेवन ट्राई जरूर की है, लेकिन उसका कुछ कह नहीं सकते क्योंकि वो इंडिया में लॉन्च हुई नहीं है। दूसरी बात, इंडियन प्लेयर्स के लिए बहुत खराब एक्सपीरियंस है बिकॉज टीम की वजह से, है ना। और इसलिए कुछ प्रो गेम्स को ज्यादा जज नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन ये पहली गेम है और मेरी होप और एक्सपेक्टेशन बहुत हाई है, क्योंकि कोरो गेम्स है ना, मेरे भले गेम वगैरह कम ट्राई किए हो, ठीक है, पनिशिंग ग्रे रेवन कम ट्राई किए हो उसके, लेकिन बहुत सपोर्टिव स्टूडियो है वो। लाइक सुनता है, जेन्युइनली प्लेयर्स की सुनता है वो। मैं रिवॉर्ड्स वगैरह के ऊपर वीडियो बनाने वाला था, अभी लाइव स्ट्रीम हुई थी, पता है ना उसकी। ओ उसकी लाइव स्ट्रीम हुई थी, पता है ना,
सुबह हुई थी वरना
हाँ
7 बजे, पता है, लेकिन मैं देखा नहीं कुछ।
और एक बात बताऊं, देख तेरे को सिर्फ विशेस गिना था, ठीक है।
Then let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns.
20
If everything went well,
wish
then she should be
pre-registration
wrapping up her
standard,
investigation
ठीक है?
right about now.
ओके
ठीक है, उसके बाद
According to my
वो
observations,
लोग
Siegeween
दे
always
रहे
spends
हैं
around
बिगनर
half an
बैनर,
hour
वो
away from
50
the
विश वाला,
infirmary right
ठीक है,
before lunch.
जिसमें गारंटीड 5
Lynette
स्टार,
knows
ठीक है,
this as well, so this should be a good time to.
ओके। फिर जैसे ही वो बैनर खत्म करता है ना, फिर तू एक और बैनर आएगा, उसमें जब 80 पुल्स करेगा ना तू पो, तो सोच उसमें इन लोगों ने क्या डाला है। तू नाउ 80 पुल्स जब करेगा तब तू मतलब तेरा मतलब गोल्डन चमकेगा, ठीक है। 18 पुल्स करेगा तू, 80 पुल्स, तब तू कोई भी 5 स्टार सिलेक्ट करके ले सकता है अपनी मर्जी का।
अरे फिर तो क्या घंटे की मतलब क्या गाच होगा फिर।
क्या? अरे वो अप्रिशिएट कर रहे हैं ना हमको, पागल।
अच्छा फिर बाद में उसके बाद गाचा है।
हाँ
अच्छा ठीक है
हाँ,
फिर तो मेरे को पता है क्या लेना है।
वो सपोर्ट करने के लिए। और दूसरी बात, एक्साइटेड हो ज्यादा उससे पहले बता दूं, लिमिटेड कैरेक्टर्स नहीं आते हैं उसमें,
यार कोई दिक्कत नहीं,
ठीक है, स्टैंडर्ड कैरेक्टर्स, लेकिन वो भी काफी अच्छे हैं, ठीक है। अब वो बात हुई,
मैं कम से कम एक 5 स्टार मिल रहा है।
हाँ, सुन 2 5 स्टार
should be here right now.
50 पुल्स वाला भूल गया, 50 पुल्स, उसके बाद ये सिलेक्ट वाला,
बट
Strange.
पूल्स उतने ज्यादा है ना।
अरे पूल्स हाँ ठीक है, रश नहीं करना हमको पूल्स के लिए, ठीक है। दूसरी बात, जैसे
No, Lynette
ये जैसे
rarely
AR
deviates
होता है
from
ना,
the plan.
एडवेंचर है,
We
ठीक है,
agreed that if
वैसे
she were
वहाँ
to
का
make changes on the
यूनियन
fly,
लेवल है,
she'd
ठीक
find
है।
a way to let me know.
यूनियन लेवल
Unless...
ऐसा समझ ले,
Let's see if
वो
there are any
रिवॉर्ड
clues
होता है ना,
found here.
5
We
पे,
can look
फिर
Okay.
15 पे, फिर 25 पे, ठीक है। स्टार रील में ये चीज़ है। तो हर मतलब वो 5 पूल्स 10 पूल्स ऐसे करके
There
टोटल
are some
वहां से
books
40
here
पूल्स,
and a few
45
advanced
यार मतलब
nursing,
45 यूनियन
how to
रैंक पे
raise
पहुंचेगा
them.
ना
These
तू।
sure are some
मैं बाकी सब
interesting
रिवॉर्ड्स की बात
books.
नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बस मेन
She
चीज की
even
बात
has
कर रहा हूँ,
books
ठीक
on.
है। ओ
Seems quite normal to me.
तो 40 पूल्स वहां से मिलेंगे स्टैंडर्ड के, प्लस एक बक्सा मिलेगा, ठीक है। और वो बक्सा पता है क्या है?
क्या?
5 स्टार वेपन, कोई भी जो तू चूज कर।
None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used,
ये
right?
गेंशिन
You
कहाँ
said
है?
she was
हेलो।
pretending to be sick.
गेंशिन कुड नेवर, नहीं सुना।
She would have said her migraine was having a
तो
particularly bad
5
flare.
स्टार वेपन सिलेक्ट कर सकता है
Generally
कोई
बे
भी।
speaking,
टेडी,
the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest
ये क्यों
while she
कर
left
रहा
to
है वो
retrieve the
मेरे को
medication.
थोड़ा सा वो लग रहा है,
हाँ हाँ वही
क्योंकि
अट्रैक्ट
एक
करने
तो
के लिए, हाँ
अट्रैक्ट
समझ।
करने के लिए पे, और दूसरी बात की गेंशिन ना लॉकडाउन लॉकडाउन के टाइम पे लॉन्च हुई थी और इतनी ज्यादा अच्छी मतलब ग्राफिक वाली गेम, और क्या बोलता है फ्री में खेलने को मिल रही है,
हम्म
तो उनको लगा कि क्या ही घंटा देना है इनको भाई जो है।
फिर सुन, ये सब हुआ। उसके बाद मैं तेरे को बताता हूँ, वो
हम्म
स्ट्रीम जब एंड कर रहे थे ना,
हम्म
तब सैलून करके उनका पूरा ना वो आता है, मतलब एम्प्लॉय नहीं, बेसिकली वो ऊपर ऊपर ही है, ठीक है, ऊपर वाली पोस्ट पे ही है कोई
हम्म
उसमें, ठीक है, कोरो गेम्स में।
हम्म
तो सैलून नाम है उसका। वो आता है आखिर में और उसने बताया कि ये गेम बन ही नहीं पाती वगैरह, और मतलब ये जो सपोर्ट वगैरह किया ना तुम, मतलब हम सोच नहीं रहे थे, लेकिन हमको इतनी ज़्यादा मतलब लव और सपोर्ट मिला ना लोगों का, और इतनी ज़्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन मतलब बिल्डअप हो गई, और इतनी हाइप बिल्डअप हो गई कि हमको इसी से मोटिवेशन मिला, और कुछ चीज़ें बहुत हमको फेस करनी पड़ी, ठीक है। वो मतलब बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हम फंस गए थे, वो सॉल्व करके हमने मतलब फाइनल ये बनाया है, क्योंकि इतनी हाइप वगैरह बिल्ड हो गई थी ना, इसलिए हमको मोटिवेशन मिला। और इसीलिए वो लास्ट में बताता है कि इसीलिए हमारा एक स्पेशल थैंक्स, ठीक है, आप सबको। और 10 10 स्टैंडर्ड पूल्स और 10 लिमिटेड पूल्स तुम्हें मेल में मिलेंगे एक्स्ट्रा।
50 तो ऐसे ही हो।
अब सुन,
हम्म
गेम्स में ऐसे ही फ्री पूल्स मान लेना जब तू गेम में स्टार्ट करेगा वगैरह, ठीक है। तो ऐसा समझ ले 100 प्लस पूल्स है तेरे पास, और तू ये वर्जन पूरा एक्सप्लोर वगैरह सब कर लेता है ना, टोटल कितनी विशेस है पता है अंदर? 240 प्लस, है ना सही?
हम्म,
हाँ देखेंगे यार, गाइड वगैरह बनानी है, लेकिन बनाएंगे धीरे धीरे।
गेम तो आंदे
वही
Which means
मैं पहले ही लॉन्च करने
either
की
the
ट्राई
head
कर रहा
nurse
था,
didn't
लेकिन
return
अब
the entire
खैर
time from
मैं
when
सच
Lynette
बताऊं,
laid
मैं
down
जैसे
up
तैसे
until she
करके
left
रश
the
नहीं करना
bed,
चाहता
or the
चीजों
nurse
को।
intentionally left
इससे
this
अच्छा
way.
खुद ट्राई करके, क्योंकि हम मेरे को तो क्लोज बीटा वगैरह मिला नहीं है, तो खुद ही फाइनल प्रोडक्ट को रिव्यू करके बनाए तो अच्छी चीज़ है। ऐसे ही फालतू में लोगों को मिसगाइड करना, मिसलीड करना।
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well.
और एक और चीज़ मैं सोच रहा हूँ वो,
The space behind it is
कि क्या मेरे
empty.
को शॉर्ट्स का
From
चैनल
its
अलग
size,
बनाना
I
चाहिए या
don't
सेम
think it's an
चैनल?
entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a
क्या बोला?
mechanism around here somewhere.
शॉर्ट्स का अलग चैनल
Lynette
बनाना
have
चाहिए,
tried to
टेडी
get
शॉर्ट्स
नहीं
inside?
करके।
नहीं,
But if that's the
क्यों?
case, she would have contacted
अभी
me for
जरूरत
sure.
नहीं, बना सकता है लेकिन अभी जरूरत नहीं।
Let's look around here for some more
मतलब मेरे
clues.
को पता है
Don't panic, just
ये लोग को
take
भी तू
another look.
देखता है, बिंग्स और ये सब उनके भी बिंग शॉट्स है, और क्या बोलते
भाई
हैं
वो
अबे
सब
जिसके भी तू देखता है उसका
हाँ।
दूसरा चैनल है बेंचो, ठीक है, शॉर्ट्स के लिए।
Hey, you guys, there's
लेकिन मेरे को लगता है कि फेंचू
A slip
उनका
of
जो
paper.
भी चैनल है वो पहले बन रखा है,
It's
फिर
right
बाद
over
में
here.
उन्होंने दूसरा
There's a
चैनल
bunch
बनाया।
written on it too. It reads, out of
ये
respect
भी
for
सही।
your
और दूसरी
usual
बात, हाँ
practices,
मैं भूल
I'll
गया एक
use a
चीज।
piece of paper or
तूने इको
card
वाला
as the
वो एको
medium
वाला
to
किया था
pass
ना
on
इवेंट
my message.
विद
You may
रिंग।
consider this as me.
This is.
ठीक है, वो कर लियो।
that
और
all?
दूसरी बात, उसमें तो हम लोगों ने एशिया
The
सिलेक्ट किया है,
bag.
लेकिन मेरे को लेटर ऑन मेरे को पता चला, मैंने
Show me now.
कम्युनिटी पोस्ट भी ला ली है यूट्यूब पे, लेकिन तूने देखी नहीं थोड़ा स्क्रॉल करके। एनीवेज
That look on your
ठीक है,
face. Would you
अब मेरे
care to
को
guess
जितने भी
where
हमारे
this
लोग खेल रहे
limit
हैं
of
ना,
the Fatui could be
उन
right
सबको
now?
मतलब जो भी सब है सबको मैं
Risley.
पूछना चाहता हूँ। अभी तो तू ही है, लेकिन
Deliberately
मैं ये
leave the
कहना चाहता हूँ,
infirmary
तू कौन सा
unguarded to
सर्वर
use
सिलेक्ट
it
करने
as
वाला है?
bait.
Wait, you mean
ऐसे
क्योंकि
ही
मेरे को
करेंगे
he
तो
was
ये
aware
अच्छा
of
क्योंकि
the
होएगा
मेरे
ना।
को
rules from the very
क्योंकि मेरे को
beginning?
लेटर ऑन पता चला कि
Why?
उसमें सिया
We didn't
सर्वर
run
भी
into
है,
any trouble last time, and he
कौन सा?
also
साउथ ईस्ट
never
एशिया।
reached out to us since.
उसमें साउथ ईस्ट एशिया भी है सर्वर, इन लोगों ने इंक्लूड किया है, ठीक है। और फर्क बहुत पड़ेगा, क्योंकि देख, जो यूजली एशिया के सर्वर्स वगैरह
Yes,
होते हैं ना, वो कहाँ
that is a
टेक
crucial
प्लेस किए जाते
question.
हैं उनको? टोक्यो
Risley.
या जापान में, राइट?
He doesn't do
हम्म,
anything without a clear goal or
और जो
reason.
साउथ ईस्ट एशिया है
So
वो
this
मे भी
means he
सिंगापुर
had
में
no
होगा।
concerns about. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by
समझ रहे हैं?
Nervilet, so you have no
वो
conflict of
सिंगापुर का
interest with
सर्वर होगा,
Risley.
मतलब
I'd
कि
like to
हमको
know that
20 या
too.
30 पिंग मिलेगी।
Don't panic. Just think everything over.
तो फिर वो
Wait,
उसका
you're
क्या
right.
होगा
The fact that Fremine.
इसका
What does
जो
he
अपन
gain
ने
by
वो
letting
बनाया?
एको का बोल रहा है ना,
So
इवेंट का
he's challenged.
वेब इवेंट।
हम्म,
If Risley let
मैं
him
सोच
leave
रहा
on
हूँ कि
purpose,
उसमें सर्वर सिलेक्ट करने का
then he's
शुरू में आता है ना, आई
getting
गेस।
more and more
हाँ
panicked? Wait, don't be
तो
like this, Linny.
अगर हम
Faraday wouldn't have
डिफरेंट
left
सर्वर
if he
अभी से
hadn't
सिलेक्ट
wanted to.
करके साउथ ईस्ट
I'm the
एशिया
leader
वाले
of the.
में उसमें भी वही चीज कर
Hey,
ले,
don't be
ठीक है।
reckless. Traveler,
लिंक
I
वगैरह
simply
मैं तेरे को
cannot
दे
allow
दूंगा,
the
जो
net
भी
to
हमको
be. I
एको चाहिए
have to
होगा,
go.
ठीक
I'll
है।
fight.
तो मैं वो, अगर हम वो करें, ठीक है, अब कल गेम आएगी तो हम देख लेंगे, राइट, कि किस में कम पिंग आ रही हो, किस में सही में हमको सही मायनों में आगे जाके फायदा है, समझ रहा है? क्योंकि मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि लोगों ने गेंशिन और
Right.
ये
I
स्टाररेल
feel like we
वगैरह की
still
आदत
have
पड़
some
गई है
room
ना,
to make
तो
changes
लोग
on these
मोस्टली
details.
एशिया करेंगे, लेकिन बहुत लोग अवेयर हो गए हैं साउथ ईस्ट एशिया के बारे में, सीएस सर्वर के बारे में। तो जो इंडियन प्लेयर्स है ना, वो सेपरेट हुए जा
हो
रहे हैं।
गया हो गया हो गया,
मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ,
डाउनलोड हो गया। हाँ
जो इंडियन प्लेयर्स है ना,
होला।
वो पूरे एक जगह पे नहीं रहेंगे, वो सेपरेट हो रहे हैं। कुछ लोग एशिया में, कुछ लोग सीएस सर्वर में। ये क्या सर्च कर रहा है बे?
हाँ, ये रामा।
और हाँ, तू भी अंदर ओपन करेगा ना गेम, तो शायद तेरे को भी ये रिकमेंडेशन में सीएस सर्वर भी आएगा।
ये देख, if desired but not reward from events are likely not transferred.
अरे मैं वो नहीं कह रहा, वो तो एशिया में हमने सिलेक्ट किया, तो वो एशिया में ही रिवॉर्ड मिलेगा। लेकिन अगर हम उसी अकाउंट को दूसरे में, जैसे कि गेंशिन
ये
तू
देख,
खोल
I
रहा है,
have already selected Asia server during the EK event, but now all my friends are C servers, and it's where we will get optimal ping. So is there a server region?
ले बस वही चीज कि पिंग कम मिलेगी सीएस सर्वर में, जैसा मैं सोच रहा था।
ये देख, what server should living? C is better option recommend after white. Okay. अब इसमें गो फॉर एशिया लिखा है, चुतिया है क्या? ये देख, इसमें भी सी है।
अब बहुत मेन कारण है, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा।
अबे लौड़े क्या करूं मैं? तू दूसरा विदर्भ का अकाउंट बनाऊं क्या सीए सर्वर्स का?
तू चूतिया है क्या भाई? मैं क्या करूं? मैं क्या करूं? मैं तो तेरे को इन्फॉर्मेशन दे दी बस। मैं भी सुबह से कंफ्यूजन में ही हूं। देख, मेरे को नहीं लगता एशिया से बहुत ज्यादा फर्क पड़ जाएगा। ठीक है, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि भाई बहुत अनप्लेएबल लैग होगा, अनप्लेएबल पिंग होगी एशिया में। तुझे पता है हम गेंशिन वगैरह भी ठीक से खेल ही पाते हैं, राइट? लेकिन मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, सीए सर्वर पास में होता है, क्लोज होता है, कम पिंग आएगी। समझ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा
अबे
हूँ?
लौड़े तेरे को मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि मैं नया अकाउंट बनाऊं क्या उधरिंग का, और
हाँ, तो
वो तो
हम दोनों।
खत्म हो गया ना
अरे, क्यों खत्म
इवेंट।
होगा? नहीं, खत्म नहीं हुआ अभी। अभी बाकी है, वो इवेंट बाकी है। दूसरी बात, उसमें सर्वर सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। दूसरी बात, दूसरा अकाउंट बनाने की वैसा सब नहीं होता है। तुझे
तो
पता है ना, गेम में जाके हम सर्वर सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, उस सर्वर में अकाउंट खुलता है हमारा।
मतलब एक ही में जीमेल अकाउंट से दो
हाँ,
दो
सुन
सर्वर
सुन।
में
हाँ,
खेलूं?
हाँ, सुन सुन, मैं तेरे को क्या बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ
अगर तू गेंशिन चालू करता है तो सर्वर सिलेक्ट करने का आता है कि नहीं?
हाँ
तो
आता
तेरा
है।
एशिया में अकाउंट है, तो अगर तू यूरोप सिलेक्ट करेगा और अकाउंट खुलेगा तो नया अकाउंट खुलेगा। एशिया का वहीं रह जाएगा सेव उसी ईमेल में। समझ रहा है?
ठीक।
तो मैं भी यही सोच रहा हूँ, लेकिन अब बात सिर्फ वही है। मैं यही सोच रहा हूँ कि एशिया और ये सीएस सर्वर दोनों ट्राई करूंगा। ठीक है, मेरे को लगता है कि एशिया में बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं है, तो मैं एशिया में ही जाऊंगा। क्योंकि जिनको पता नहीं है ना, वो एशिया में ही रहेंगे। ठीक है, जिनको जिनको पता है वो साउथ ईस्ट एशिया में जा रहे हैं। तो मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि दोनों में अकाउंट बना के चेक कर लूंगा। समझ रहा है? लेकिन बात यह है, वो एको के वेब इवेंट की।
तो
समझ रहा है?
बेज भोसड़ी के बेज इवेंट का वो।
इवेंट क्या भेजूं साले? एको इवेंट सर्च कर ले, हो जाएगा, आ जाता है।
एक तो यार मेरे गोटे भी नहीं को जान देता है बेंच, ऐसा भी नहीं सोचता कि भेज दूंगा इसको नीचे।
साला चूतिया।
हम्म,
सोचना, कल लॉन्च हो रही है। मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
हम्म,
कल कल लॉन्च हो रही है, ठीक है? और 10 दिन बाकी होते हैं ना, तब ये लोग गेंशिन वाले ना लाइव स्ट्रीम की अनाउंसमेंट डालते हैं, पता है ना, स्पेशल प्रोग्राम की नेक्स्ट वाले।
हम्म।
इन लोगों ने आज, या मतलब कल ही पोस्ट डाल दी कि 24 तारीख को कल आ रही है, और परसों ये गेंशिन की वो है 4.7 की लाइव स्ट्रीम।
भाई
गांड फटी।
इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं। अच्छा यहाँ पे है। ये तो इंग्लिश और ये सब है। um,
क्या हो रहा है? सर्वर चेंज कर पा रहे हैं?
देखने यार।
अबे यार, रुक तो देखूं मैं भी।
मैं तो लॉग आउट ही हुए जा रहा हूँ।
क्या?
नहीं नहीं, 300 कर पाएंगे।
आह, ये तो फिर वही बात हो गई कि अगर ये शुरू वाला एको चाहिए तो दूसरा अकाउंट बनाओ, यही बात हो गई ना। हम्म, क्या करे तू बता।
मेरी मर्जी है, देख ले। अच्छा, मेरे को तो कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा बहन जो क्या करो क्या नहीं।
जो मेरी मर्जी कहाँ से आ गया अंदर?
टेडी
हाँ
नया अकाउंट बना लेते हैं,
देख, मैं तेरे को
दोनों
क्या
में
बोल रहा हूँ,
देख ही लेते हैं।
मैं तेरे को क्या बोल रहा हूँ,
हम्म,
एक चीज बताता हूँ, वो चीज करते हैं, बता। देख, कलम वगैरह सब एशिया सिलेक्ट करेंगे, अगर हम सिया घुस गए ना तो अलग हो जाएगा अकाउंट, प्रोग्रेस सब वो हो जाएगी, ठीक है। अब मैं
अबे
तेरे को
टेडी जीमेल अलग बना दे कोई, भेंचो तो उसमें तो दूसरा
मैं
सिलेक्ट
तेरे
कर
को
ले।
क्या बोल रहा हूँ वो तो सुन। जीमेल की सही बात है तेरी, मैं तेरे को ये बोल रहा हूँ, दोनों में खेल लेंगे, लेकिन मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ पहले एशिया से शुरू करते हैं, ठीक है। अगर एशिया में बहुत दिक्कत लगी या फिर ऐसा लगा कि आधे से ज्यादा इंडियन अगर सिया में सर्वर में शिफ्ट हो गए हैं, ठीक है, तो जो ये वेब इवेंट है ना, वो चल रहा है अगली 6 तारीख तक। अभी 23 हो रही है, ठीक है, अगली 6 तारीख तक चल रहा है। तो मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ तेरे को,
अबे टेडी
अभी है।
प्री रजिस्ट्रेशन के 20 नहीं मिलेंगे।
क्यों?
क्यों क्यों नहीं मिलेंगे चूतिया, आ तो गई है।
अबे चूतिए, वो तो जिन लोगों ने प्री रजिस्टर किया उनके लिए थोड़ी है लॉडू, ऐसा नहीं होता किसी गेम में। क्या महा चूतिया इंसान है भाई, तेरे को अभी तक बेसिक्स नहीं पता ये सब।
तो
प्री रजिस्टर क्या होता है? वो तो एक माइलस्टोन वो होता है भाई, माइलस्टोन होता है कि ये रीच करवाओ, हम सबको ये देंगे, समझा? ऐसा नहीं होता जिसने प्री रजिस्टर किया उसी को मिलेगा, साले लॉडू।
ये देख लेंगे। सी
एक
है
मिनट,
सर्वर।
एक मिनट, एक
हाँ
मिनट। जो जो गेंशिन उनमें नया बंदा आता है वो, तो उसको
हाँ,
वो 10 विश नहीं मिलती है
मिल गया मिल गया।
फिर? अबे ये क्या लक है? लो
क्या
माता चोत,
क्या मिला मेरे को?
ये तेरे को 3 कॉस्ट वाला, एक पुल किया तूने सिंगल पहला ही, तेरे को थ्री
हाँ
कॉस्ट वाला 5 स्टार मिल गया।
हाँ,
आ, छोड़, वैसे चिपकली पसंद नहीं है वैसे तो मेरे को, ठीक है, लेकिन
प्री रजिस्टर्ड हो गया मेरा।
ये फाइट में होती है ना तो अटैक करती है वो,
हम्म,
और ऐसे ही पड़ी रहती है ना, सोती रहती है, तब हील होता है। अबे नीचे वह फॉलो फॉलो वाला कर दे और बैक कर। ठीक है, तूने 2 अकाउंट बनाया ना, मेरे को बताइयो, ठीक है, हम उस हिसाब से सबको कह के वहीं चेंज करवा लेंगे, ठीक है। क्या बोलता है? लेकिन मेरी बात सुन, कल सुबह पहले तो एशिया से शुरू करियो।
जैसे जैसे करेंगे ना bro।
हम्म।
Leverage।
वापस चिपकली करना 10।
लेverage। बूम। वाह ये।
आ, हम्म शायद तेरे को ये अकाउंट रखना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरे को लगता है कि इसमें लक है तेरा।
हट वे।
अरे भैंचोद, ये भी तो है।
मतलब ये इस मतलब ये सिलेक्ट करो ये क्या है?
इनमें से कुछ सिलेक्ट मत कर अभी। और
कुछ तो
तूने
करना
तो
पड़ेगा ना।
अभी टाइम है ना, बाद में लॉक कर लियो, लॉक करेगा वो आ जाएगा, ठीक है। और मैं एक बात बोलूं देखो, तूने
हाँ
वो मेन अकाउंट है ना जो तेरा एशिया वाला,
हाँ।
उस पे भी बड़ा गंदा सा सिलेक्ट किया है वो कार वाला।
क्यों? मुझे नहीं
देखो,
यार।
नहीं, तेरे को इनलाइन चलानी है ना,
मैं
तो तू ना वो, देखिए तेरा 2 स्टार है ना, वो तेरे को चाहिए 5 स्टार 3 कॉस्ट वाला। ये पर्पल पर्पल बर्ड दिख रही होगी तेरे को, वो वॉयलेंट फेदर फेदर हेरोन।
ये
हाँ
ये तो है
हाँ,
ही नहीं मेरे पे। मिली नहीं है मेरे को।
रुक जा, मैं तेरे को शेयर करूं।
तो ये 5 स्टार की जगह मैं 4 स्टार सिलेक्ट करूं?
क्या 4 स्टार नहीं, 5 स्टार ही चाहिए तेरे को। और मैंने तेरे को डीएम में लिंक भेजी, देख काम कर रही है। क्लेम हो जाए तो अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि उससे तो क्लेम नहीं हो रहा है कलम से। रिडीम तो कर। वाओ, खत्म भाई, क्या बोलूं।
नहीं, ये तो मेरा वही अकाउंट है ना। इसमें तो है ये पहले से उधर है।
कोई नहीं, अभी लॉक मत कर, मैं बाद में करवा दूंगा ये तो। अच्छा वाला सिलेक्ट।
लॉक नहीं कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ, लॉक मत करियो, बस लॉक मत करियो।
ये क्या है?
है, रिडीम कर।
अबे अंदर मैं अकाउंट में ही नहीं घुसा हूँ, छोटे हैं।
यार इन लोगों ने एको इवेंट में ऐसा क्यों बनाया है चोत।
रेडी।
मिल गया। नाइस। सही है भाई, ये क्या मतलब है। अच्छा, ये तेरे को मेन अकाउंट में मिला।
यस।
हाँ नाइस, बस उसी में चाहिए था फिर। हाँ, अब लॉक कर ले, लॉक कर ले, मैंने कर लिया है। मैंने, मेरा यही लॉक है। मैंने पहले सियान
तो
फेदर
उसमें क्यों
हेरोन
नहीं
लिया था।
मिल रहा?
फिर मैंने ये लिया था। क्या पता।
पता नहीं मिला, भैंचोद मेरे को चाहिए।
इस अकाउंट में वो लेना फिर, सियान फेदर हेरोन ले ले।
रिडीम्ड।
दोनों में अलग अलग ले, ताकि प्ले स्टाइल अलग अलग चेंज कर पाए।
यान फेदर एयरफोन मत।
अरे यार, चोत, रुक जा।
मैं घर ही बन रहे हैं ना, मैं को नहीं बता।
हम्म, अभी जो है ना वो लाइटनिंग वो बूस्ट करता है, ठीक है। तो वो येन लिन वगैरह के लिए अच्छा है, और सियान फेदर हेरोन है ना, वो डॉज के लिए बहुत अच्छा है भाई। मेरे को वो चाहिए मेन अकाउंट में, लेकिन मेरे और भी कंडीशन है ना, इसलिए मैंने वो लिया।
ये ले लूंगा मैं।
रुक
लगा।
जा, मैं भेज रहा हूँ। देख, मिल जाए तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं मिला तो जे आ, कोई बात नहीं।
लग रहा है।
ये क्या ग्लिच है, ये क्या है।
जो भी है रुक जा।
अबे
मेरे को लग रहा है कि, अरे ठीक है, मेरे को लग रहा था ये भी मिल जाएगा मेरे मेन अकाउंट।
भाई
मेरे को लग रहा
साला।
तो ठीक है, मेरा तो 2 अकाउंट हो गया, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। हाँ, मैं वही
मैं
बोल
भी
रहा था,
बना
क्या ही
लिया।
है, मेरे पास तो बहुत है।
It's not impossible, but
कोई नहीं,
it'll
मैं भी
require
बना लेगा
extensive
बाद में।
testing.
Is that so?
अगर ये एक अकाउंट जाएगा
Very
दूसरा
well.
का
Then please be
गेम।
mindful of the time.
हाँ ना, वैसे अली में तो रीरोल चलता ही है, पता है ना ये तो।
Is someone?
अरे मतलब मैं गेम गेंशिन
Check
वाली बात
everything
कर रहा
up.
हूँ। एक एक चला जाएगा कोई बात नहीं, दूसरा दे लो।
Whoever's outside
वो भी
is
सही है।
eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! He's sick!
यू नो व्हाट, तेरे को
Oh, are
विद
you
रिव्यू
okay?
शायद पसंद आएगी, क्योंकि तू
These
गॉड ऑफ
two.
वॉर, फिर
As expected,
मतलब
they've
खेलता है
already
ना
found this
सब,
place. Oh, they are
कॉम्बैट वाली
quite
गेम्स वगैरह भी।
delightful turn of
तेरे को
events.
इंटरेस्ट है कॉम्बैट वगैरह में,
I like smart
तेरे को
people,
पसंद आएगी,
but I
क्योंकि
also
कॉम्बैट
like
वगैरह में
playing dumb.
चैलेंजिंग है।
Oh boy!
वेथरिंग
What's wrong, little one?
गेंशिन करा।
There's no
ई
need to
क्यू
panic.
ई क्यू नहीं
Take a
दबाना है
deep
बस।
breath before being able
ई
to
क्यू
read
लेफ्ट
human
क्लिक, ई क्यू लेफ्ट
expressions is
क्लिक, ई क्यू
quite the
लेफ्ट क्लिक।
useful. Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
हेलो लेनी, आयु।
He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
ओ,
हाँ,
अब तो गेंशिन हमको 169 पूछ देगी तब वापस आएंगे।
नहीं भाई,
भोसड़ी के साले अंधभक्त।
मेरे को तो गेम की स्टोरी खत्म करनी है बस, तब आ पाऊंगा।
वो भी कौन सा कर रहे हैं भाई, बहनचोद खींचे जा रहे हैं लॉर्ड लोग साले। काम की बात कर नहीं रहे हैं बहनचोद, ये देखना जेलों में बस लीनेट को भगा भगा कर रहे हैं ये
Aren't we
लीनेट।
at an administrative office space?
ये देख,
Why
ये
don't you at
इसलिए
least
आता
try
है,
to follow
अभी
even a
इसको चाय
couple
पीना बहुत
rules from the
पसंद है, चूतिया
fortress's
साला।
indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my—
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No. He's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages, you knew we were investigating
So
the
जो
infirmary
भी
from
लोग
the
स्टार
start.
रेल और गेंशिन
So you
खेलते हैं, अभी
deliberately aroused the
उनके
traveler's
लॉन्चर में
suspicions and
एक अपडेट
baited us
आया है,
into
ठीक है?
continuing our investigation,
अब
just
सोच
so that you'd be able
इस
to
अपडेट
kidnap
में
As
आज
for
रात को
Fremine,
गेंशिन ने ये अपडेट डाला हो,
no,
और ये अपडेट
you
आया है
probably didn't
कि
even
कल
interfere
जो
with
बहन का
Child's
लौड़ा
escape.
सबसे
You
ज्यादा
let him
बिदरिंग
go
वेव सब
so
कुछ
you could
खेलेगा,
purge the
उसको
Fatui
ऐसे
members that we had planted into your
लॉन्च किया
ranks.
और लिखा गया
There
यू आर
was no
नॉट
need to
एबल
do
टू
so.
प्ले
The fortress of
गेंशिन
Merpede is a
इम्पैक्ट।
pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here.
क्या
The
हुआ?
only ones who act differently are those with
मैं बोल रहा
personal
हूँ
agendas.
ये
It
जो
was quite
गेंशिन
easy
और
to
स्टार रेल
identify your
दोनों
colleagues.
के जो लॉन्चर है ना, ये लॉन्च करने के पहले लॉन्चर आते हैं, तो उनमें अपडेट आए हैं, तूने देखा होगा अभी, ठीक है? तो इन लोगों ने आज ही अपडेट डाला है थोड़ी देर पहले तो सोचा इन लोगों ने ऐसा डाला हो कि भाई कल बहन का लौड़ा जो विदरिंग वेव ज्यादा खेलेगा, मैं उसके उसको ऐसा लिखा आ जाएगा जब लॉन्च करेंगे, तब यहाँ पे निकल जा
You removed
गद्दार,
our original
यू आर नॉट
members
एबल
and
टू
spread
प्ले
the news of
मदर।
Child's escape so Father
ओ
would assign our
स्टार
team to come
फैंटेसी
down and
वाला।
investigate. Fremine is
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not.
अरे सुन ना,
What's you really-
ऐसा लिखा भी आए ओ
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is
Oh.
here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you
अरे
so
सुन ना,
much for
ऐसा
cooperating
लिखा
with
भी
me.
आए और वो एक ऑडियो क्लिप भी चले, गद्दारी कर बे तेरे बहन को चोद, गद्दारी कर बे।
3-4 दिन बाद फिर से गेंशिन में गाड़ मारा रहेंगे।
नहीं नहीं यार, विदरिंग वे प्रॉमिसिंग है भाई।
नहीं मतलब जिसको
हाँ
नहीं
वैसे
पसंद है वो
हाँ, वैसे कह सकता। ओ लाइव स्ट्रीम होने वाली है, ओ लाइव स्ट्रीम मतलब इतनी जल्दी तो क्रेज
Eager
नहीं
into the
होगा ना
point, I
माइंड में
see.
ऑब्वियसली।
Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the
ए भाई
fortress's finest tea.
300 क्या बोलते हैं,
Although,
प्रीमो
as per
मैटर
your
करता है भाई।
original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my
कोई
बट
नहीं।
मैं
gates,
अगर ये
nor has he been taken into any
क्या
kind of
बोलते हैं,
custody. So where do you
फाउंटेन
think
की
he
स्टोरी
may
खत्म हो
be
जाए ना,
right
फिर
now?
बाद में नहीं खेलने वाला हूँ मैं।
Wait, you can't. You locked him outside in the
मैं
sea.
तो ये
I
सोच रहा हूँ,
closed the
वो
fortress's gate to the outside world.
तारल खेलता हूँ,
That's all.
गेंशिन खेलता हूँ, तेरे से एक नहीं संभल
Fermine's
पा
a
रही है।
star diver,
मैं
so he
विदरिंग भी
should be
खेलने
fine,
वाला हूँ, मैं
right?
कितनी
No,
गाचा गेम
we're
संभालूं एक
still
साथ।
here, so we definitely try to
एक
find a way
बंद
to
करनी
come back
पड़ेगी।
for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a
Okay.
great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating.
ओके हाँ बोलो।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं स्टार रेल खेलता हूँ, गेंशिन खेलता हूँ, मैं बोला इतनी मतलब, और विदरिंग वे भी खेलने वाला हूँ, मैं बोला इतनी एक साथ खेल रहा हूँ मैं, एक कादी बंद करनी पड़ेगी।
चलो भुजड़ी का सारी गाचा ही खेल रहा है सारी।
Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now.
Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremenet is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father?
Hmm.
But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
तेरे को उड़ा देगा ऐसे ही पूछ रही है आ गया था बेच
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Linny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me.
मैंने Amazon से नहीं मंगाया,
No
बस
matter
मैंने
how
गलती
you
कर
look
दी,
at
मैंने
it,
ऑफिशियल
the
साइट से मंगाया, ठीक
responsibility
है
for this falls on you.
भाई? अब उनकी कुरियर वगैरह की अलग होती है ना टीम, मतलब वो तो रैंडमली देते हैं किसी को, कोई भी एक फैसिलिटी को। जिसको दी है ना, मैं सच बता रहा हूँ, वो उसको दियो मत। मैं नाम दे रहा हूँ तेरे को, DTDC ऐसे करके कुछ है, कुरियर फैसिलिटी। भाई 15 तारीख को दिया था और 18 तारीख को एस्टिमेटेड डेट थी, ठीक है?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette. Yes? You're here helping him out.
मैंने
and
जिंदगी
I've
में
already
पहली
done
बार
my
एक चीज
best to
देखी है,
stay
पता है
out of
आपको?
your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want.
हेलो,
The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
हेलो हाँ
हाँ मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैंने जिंदगी में पहली बार एक चीज देखी है, ठीक है? पहले क्या होता है, ऑर्डर होता है, ठीक है? उसके बाद क्या होता है, डिस्पैच, है ना? उसके बाद क्या होता है, आउट फॉर डिलीवरी, है ना? और फिर आउट फॉर डिलीवरी के बाद क्या होता है
डिलीवर्ड।
भाई? तू एक चीज सोच, यहाँ मेरे साथ क्या हुआ है।
क्या?
परसों 20 तारीख को, ठीक है? परसों 20 तारीख को मेरे को मैसेज आता है कि यहाँ पे काकरिया है ना, मतलब बाजू में ही है, तो वहाँ काकरिया में वो है, मतलब वहाँ कोई फैसिलिटी में पड़ा हुआ है मेरा कुरियर, ठीक है? तो वो वहाँ से निकले थे, ठीक है? मेरे को मैसेज आता है SMS कि भाई वो कुरियर फैसिलिटी, मतलब आउट फॉर डिलीवरी हो गया है, ठीक है, तुम्हारा पार्सल। और सोच, 2 घंटे बाद मेरे को मैसेज आता है कि सॉरी, हमने डिलीवरी अटेम्प्ट किया था लेकिन वो हो नहीं पाया। और वहाँ पे स्टेटस में क्या दिखा रहा है पता है? डिलीवरी, आउट फॉर डिलीवरी, उसके बाद नॉट डिलीवर्ड।
चूतिया है क्या ये लोग?
और
अबे तू डिलीवरी पर्सन का नंबर मिला होगा तो उसको कॉल नहीं किया?
घंटा कुछ नहीं
मिला।
नहीं।
तो फिर क्या हुआ? उधर जाके लेके आना पड़ा?
नहीं गया। अबे वहां से तब से वही स्टेटस पे है। फिर मैंने बात की डायरेक्ट वो कुरियर फैसिलिटी के कस्टमर केयर में, ठीक है? तो उसमें एक लड़की बोलती है कि वो मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट, मतलब वो कर देती हूँ, ठीक है? और वो आप तक आ जाएगा और मोस्टली आज ही आ जाएगा। और वो आज क्या था पता है, कौन सा दिन था वो कल था। और आज भी दिन खत्म हो गया, आज भी नहीं आया वो। क्या मतलब है भाई ये क्या है, ये कैसे होता है ऐसा भाई? मैंने कहीं देखा ही नहीं ऐसा। अरे सब छोड़ भाई, हमने
बट तू
डिलीवरी
अमेजोन
अटेम्प्ट
से
किया
क्यों
है,
नहीं
ये क्या
मंगाया?
होता है? क्या?
अमेजोन से क्यों नहीं मंगाया तू?
अमेजोन से क्या रीजन था यार? कुछ तो रीजन था।
तेरे
आई
को
गेस ये
रिप्लेस करना था, तेरे को रिफंड नहीं करना था। क्या बात है?
क्या, तो उसमें रिप्लेसमेंट थोड़ी था, उसमें रिफंड ही था डायरेक्ट। बेंचो मैं भी रिफंड ही करवाना वो रिप्लेसमेंट ही करवाना चाहता था।
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two? I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
वैसे एक बात बोलूं,
I've been told that the infirmary, the Fonta promoter has been.
बोलना।
We often see Miss C.
छोड़ वैसे भाई, वो हो जाएगा।
The Fonta promoter has been struggling.
भाई ये मेरे को बहुत बीटी
We
लगती है
often see Miss
ये भाई
Fonta's internal report.
नहीं करना भाई। हाँ जो भी करेक्ट नहीं
We
है
often
गांड
see
मराएगा।
Miss
ત્રણ ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછે એટલે ત્રણ
Fonta's
વખત આ
internal
ગાંડ
report
મારશે
suggest-
કરવાનું કઈ નહીં
The
કર લો।
research notes said that the. According to Collins, I've been told that the infirmary is always.
So that's what's going on. Paimon understands it now. Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health. Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stand. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want. And unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently. The recipients of her lovingly Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's all right. Now for my next there are also some hidden.
બેન ક્રેશન રી માનો
I've been
લે
told that
લો
the infirmary.
એટલું બધું મારે
Fonta's
વિચારવાનું
internal report.
મને જ
We
નહીં
often
થયું
see Miss C.
મેં ખોટા
We often see Miss. The Fonta promoter has.
એક ખોટું
The research notes said that the. According to Collins.
Paimon gets this rule too now. So there really was nothing to. That hidden rule of the pancreation ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxes. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet to be named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood red
एक चीज
drink.
का है,
It's no
जैसा
wonder
गेंशिन में है
even
ना
Fonta's own
वो
staff were questioning the company's
लोगों का
decision
रोना
making.
एंड गेम
The
को लेके।
company facing back from its own
वो
stack,
विदरिंग वेव में सॉल्व हो
decided
जाएगा
to
क्योंकि
try to
विदरिंग वेव
trial
का
the product at a
एंड गेम
smaller
कंटेंट
scale
हार्ड है
to see how it might. They came to the fortress of
क्योंकि उसमें
Merope
कॉम्बोस
and
वगैरह की
offered to
सिस्टम है ना,
sponsor the
कॉम्बोस
pension
वगैरह मारने
tournament. The
पड़ेंगे।
Duke, knowing how
ऊपर से
valuable
उसमें
coupons are in the
एक चीज अच्छी है
fortress,
भाई, उसी
knew that
बहाने
only
कैरेक्टर्स के
total
कॉम्बोस
idiots
वगैरह
who didn't
के बहाने
understand the
उनकी
true
एनिमेशन
value would
बहुत ज्यादा
bother
है, समझ
buying
रहे
a
हैं?
bunch of. And so, only
गेंशिन में कैसा
I
है, उसके
acknowledge the
नॉर्मल
effort you've
अटैक्स
put
की
into bringing the
एनिमेशन,
truth of
ई
this
की
mystery,
एनिमेशन और क्यू
although
की
based on your
एनिमेशन
description, that Fanta
उसमें
promoter
बहुत
is a
ज्यादा
bit
है।
too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question! The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind! You'll pay for this! Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Siegeween. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace. Siegeween? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Siegeween... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervulet
मैं
asked
जाने
me to
छूट
come
मार
here,
तारा
he
हूँ
told me
छे
that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulet told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Siegeween, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense. What are you talking about?
Take me if you want. Let them...
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Siegeween, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
कौन है वे?
Some space,
अबे
please.
Ah, Miss Clarend.
Fremine... Fremine...
What's going on? What is Clarend doing here?
Work.
Sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest...
I'll talk to Clarend while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything...
Yeah. Oi. What's
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Siegeween may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you could...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved 2.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were...
That's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Tak बांध ले. Sorry. बोल रहे हैं.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now, and move... Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly...
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she? How is...
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea.
अब क्या नाचूं मैं बेंचो?
Are you sure? You don't look...
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual of...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help...
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us? The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of...
कितने दिन से चला ही नहीं.
He's awake. Lenny. Lynette.
We're all here. The infirmary at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
Okay. मैं पता ना पाइप के अंदर का ऐसा दिखा है फिर बाद में कुछ नहीं दिखा मेरे को जाना है क्या अच्छा
I'm in. Where could Master Child be?
हैं ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. Frost is coming! This is where the water starts. Master Child probably dived into the water. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be... there are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Good night.
I can't die here. This... I have to push on.
ठीक है हमें तो घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her.
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you've had some more...
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here.
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us?
No, please go on without me. I don't want...
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave.
Understood.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as...
Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegeween?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande. How...
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever...
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your
You managed managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do.
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the...
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the Fortress of Meripede. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates.
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the...
And saving Fremine was part of that
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want...
Yeah, Paimon really wants to...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, right?
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is. Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name, Forbidden. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to...
Hey?
Huh. So there's a switch up...
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guess? Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
The concentration of primordial?
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising. Yes.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where some of them began to repent, and pray to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the after many, many centuries. Few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real... Let's go somewhere else. Oh. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? You're
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if your grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin? Good. Saves me a bit of time explaining. Edwin's main areas of research were archium and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar.
You want to blow up?
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace!
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Not much.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria, and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the Primordial Sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh,
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as...
yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great.
We're back!
Welcome back.
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves, to the water, and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Sijween.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijween is also busy with something or other. So, let's just...
Alright, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself, firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close...
Whoa, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's Arlene.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly... I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me get...
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could...
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on. The 2 of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any... Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we...
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel... Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done so much al-
Alright, then we'll catch you guys...
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well!
Traveler Paimon! Over here!
Are you here for dinner too, Missy?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right! She's actually sitting in the fortress cafe.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too! Don't forget Paimon!
No problem. Just leave it to me.
So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed.
Sijuin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take...
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older...
Really? You're reminded of an older sister?
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the... Thankfully, Cloran is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Cloran left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Cloran had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real...
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been... Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nerviolet would come down here more often, too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos. Get a good night's rest, you two.
So much has happened. Paimon's super sleepy.
on running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
हेलो लग
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey! What's wrong with these people? They won't even touch.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
We're still in Lavaroon. Do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it so—
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outward.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
So this is a good part.
They're here.
Just like I said. You're just in time. But be ready to run.
Please.
Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
देंगे ओए ऐसे सर्वर स्टार्ट करियो माँ की आगे इनकी चेक किया वो सिंगापुर या मलेशिया में टेक्नोलॉजी ओके ठीक है यारी अच्छा
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina. and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest...
न्यू को लेके न्यू में ये भाई इस तरफ पड़ेगा सॉरी
Add Astra. Thank you for
ठीक है
Add Astra.
ये सब करने का ही नहीं मैंने कहा चल 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 चल
Look! There are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermonia people over there! Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Okay. भाई कुत्ते कुत्ते आते हैं फिर बाद में बोलते हैं बचा लो भाई बचा लो खुश होगी भाई
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and...
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Nuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh. And just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely? That is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or...
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth.
Okay.
It is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Yeah.
This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
यार कैटास्ट्रॉफी होना चाहिए था एपोस्ट्रॉफी यस
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a...
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet? We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal...
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the
I must say, we've spent Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression...
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Heart have devoted everything to saving their... But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjecture.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge. Fontaine will be saved.
Okay.
Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my...
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eye. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency... Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared...
The emergency response plan is...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the year?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina.
राइडन उड़ा देती है अभी तक बस
When Linny
ठीक है
tried to investigate the oratrice in the opera house. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvellette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so... Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard... You too, Pi.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a it is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
Very well. We'll end...
Mind seeing me off, Traveler. We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
ये ट्रैवलर है तो कुछ होगा
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics... I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and...
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share...
And that's everything that happened during the trial.
Okay.
Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported...
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I will take care. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a—
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, it's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydrognosis is not currently held by— In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that—
Who are you? And what are you trying to do?
the fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night. No, there's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that ride.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now haven't set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Oh, and I have an addition.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Udex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence.
Okay.
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked them?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever— I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Udex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Udex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings off. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other.
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this.
Huh? Why is it raining?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... huh?
Please do not be so surprised. My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right?
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely... There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, they say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that's stolen...
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to...
Oh, so even you can...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history...
please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? We'll see you another time.
Take care.
So guys, that's it for today. मिलते हैं कल 2 घंटे 56 मिनट. That's about it. Bye bye. Tata. See you. Bye.